Good morning, guys. This is Kenzo Xtrahot Forex. So let's go straight to actually how to double the account, actually also as a daily analysis. So, this topic actually comes like several times. That can you double the account, or some people they see us maybe doubling their accounts. We take in smaller account, maybe within a week or 2 weeks, then that account is now flipped to a bigger number. So the question is that possible? The second one is, how risky is that, or is that safe? The first question is that possible? The answer is yes. When you understand the rules or the instructions that you're supposed to follow. You don't just go out of them on the market and say I want to double the account. Actually, this video is meant for the people who actually bought the robot, plus also the public, because there's nothing. I don't think maybe it's a secret actually to share this type of information, because we know. If you are not in the team, it's gonna be like seriously difficult, because just to go straight to that, you see, sometimes you need to have the right tools and the right understanding. But whatever that I'm going to show you here is just general. It's just general, you see. So you have the tools, especially the people who already have the robot, because the robot will actually open the positions for you. But you have to understand why maybe we say we need to open this and that. So anyways, I think maybe without wasting your time, we just have to jump to this topic. So for those who want to be part of the team, if you want, you can see, I don't know if you can see there, you can see actually yesterday we smashed NASDAQ. We also smashed US30. We also smashed USOIL. Anyways, for those who wants to be part of the team, if you want to be part of the team, Xtrahot Forex, 12 months VIP signals, it's $165 you pay once. If you want Prime, it's only $265 one-time fee. This is the gift that you can give to yourself. January is coming, it's next month. February you will be back facing the market without tools. If now you have the bonus, just invest wisely. Anyways, let me go on the chart and try to show you. This part actually is not like analysis. I'm just going to show you actually how to double the account, because it's quite easy, right? It's way too easier to do this. But also the market, naturally, the market is also actually difficult. If you want topics like this, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button, like, share with your friends. So let's say maybe I will talk with the rands. I will actually use rands. It's my local currency. So let's say maybe in your account you have only 300. You have 300. 300, I think maybe it's, I don't know, maybe, I don't know with the dollars, maybe, but it's very small. I think maybe $20. Let me check. Let me check that currencies, so that you can see, because we are not in a hurry, guys. I'm not in a hurry. If you are in a hurry, that's your problem. So you can see that it's actually $17, right? So let's say you have $17. Can you take this amount, or let's say, firstly, because the other way, if you want to continue flipping that account, obviously you will be just using the same method. So the thing is, can you multiply this by 2 within a week? Can you grow this account can you flip this account? Can you double this account? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible, and it's very safe. But there is when we say it's safe, naturally you know that the market actually the market is already risky itself. Even if you use a smaller slot size, still the market is very risky. But we have to understand a few things. So actually we're going to apply our strategy on the chart. You see, If maybe you're using the robot, I will explain that after. But firstly, even if maybe you don't really use the robot, with the signals that I'm sending in the group, you have to understand them. Why? The reason behind that is I like to send pending orders. I send pending orders, sell pending order or a buy pending order, which means once the market reaches that area, most likely the market will be running. So I will just give you example. Remember, we started with 300. For me to double this account, I think the best way is to make what? 50 rands. If I want to double that account actually in a week. When I say 50 rands, I'm not saying in a week or in a day, but firstly, I have to understand what is the lot size that I'm supposed to use to reach the nearest number, like which is 50. So most likely, if maybe I have 300, I'm going on this, obviously, as I like to use, I will be using Xness. I will be talking this thing on Xness, not on other brokers, because some, they go crazy. So with that 300, this is Xness. So the account is 300. So what I want to make is 50 rands. And to make 50 rands, I have to understand the losses that I actually want to use, so that I don't really risk this amount, because already it's very small. So you find that, okay, for me to make 50 rands, it's very quick. Maybe if I use 0.08, something like that, you see. So how will I reach this amount without risking? You see, I can split this actually. That's why then people, they say, I see you using multiple accounts, my whatever on my side. That doesn't really happen. You know what? You have the tools, but you actually don't know how to use them. That is not something that maybe I can say you need me to explain, or maybe you can say, but we don't really get the same results, because yeah, I know how to scale up. You know. If maybe I send you the signal now and you open with 0.01, I open with 0.01, but maybe I used like 20 positions. Do you expect to get the same results? Obviously, it's going to be no, right? But the results, they're going to be, we're all going to get the profit, but my profit is going to be bigger. Why? Because I knew how to scale up. So it's not about maybe we're getting the different results. We're getting positive results, but the other results are bigger and yours maybe are too small. Do you get that? So now I said I want to make 50 rands, because I know if I can make 50 rands easily, maybe I can make 50 rands during the day or early, then later on I can also get another one, because per day we get maybe few signals, right? So it means if I can make twice these 50 rands, now I'm on $100. That is like bigger percentage actually. Then the second day, if I repeat, now I'm actually halfway to doubling the account. The third day, obviously, I will be doubling the account or even going further. It will depend on how the market moves. So I said what? I have to understand the lot size that I'm going to use, you see. I'm going to check out the lot size that I'm supposed to use so that I can reach this nearest amount. You can even maybe say how to reach $100 rands. You can also do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this 0.08 by doing what? By using 0.02. Firstly, listen to this. Firstly, when we double the account, we don't just open multiple positions at once. We don't do that. Firstly, we open one position. If the market goes in our favor, mostly the market will keep doing that. Remember, I trade NASDAQ, I trade USDT, and I trade other ones. People, they want to get the same results, but they trade different things. You can't get that, you see. But you can still get that if you understand what you're dealing with. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I will then show you here on the chart. But firstly, I just want you to understand the concept. Firstly, I will use, remember, my maximum lot size should be 0.08. So firstly, I will do what? I will use 0.02. So we left with what? We left with 0.06. So it means I can open another 3 positions, right? And the account and the broker will allow me, because I use a bigger leverage, and it's like mini lots actually, so they don't really chow your account that much, right? So if maybe I open with this 0.02, I know the loss of this thing can even reach 20 rands, obviously. It can reach, if maybe you did hold it longer. So if we start to get into profit, let's say maybe this first position goes to 10 rands. So I can now release the other ones. It's like we testing the waters, right? We test. If it allows us, then we start to add more. You see, we don't just add before we test with the smaller with the smaller lot, but we know how much we have to actually add. If this start to get into profit, I'm just going to open the other one. There is no rule of saying, okay, when it reaches these pips, guys, the market doesn't really work like that. People, they just like to count everything. They like to be like exact or specific. You see, just use reasonable stuff. So what I'm going to do is, mostly what I like to do is, if the first position, but the position it's on profit, the second one, I'm going to open the second one. Then it means the first one is in profit, but the second one is now floating, maybe in a smaller negative. If I see this tries to go into profit again, I will release the next ones. I will open 0.02, 0.2, actually around the same point. So now I have like almost 1, 2, 3, 4 positions on that small account. This one is on 10. This one maybe it's on $8. This one's they're still getting to $2, 2 rands. So once I close this position, mostly I'm going to be around 50, 60, 70 towards that 100. I'm talking about one signal. You see, this is one signal. So how do we do that on the chart? Because there's people who say, hey, no, let me show you on the chart and try. When you try, you will understand that you are just not taking this advantage, or maybe just because you don't really have that information. So I'm not just going to waste time actually on the older positions. But what I just want to show you is, in the market, we have something that is called resistance and supports and stuff like that, right? So mostly the market will not move that much around this area. The market will consolidate around these areas. The market will likely to consolidate around these areas. You see, so it means our position is not supposed to be there. Listen that again. So let me just use this current one here. Oh, it's fine. Let me also show you this. I think 2 hours, it was much better. These candlesticks are not really visible. They're very slim. Yeah, I think this is much better. So what's really happening is, we did the analysis. I'm not going to show you the analysis because I think you know. If you don't know, you have to know that. So what's really happening is, you identify the support area. On top, you identify, let's say, the resistance area, right? So our job is to do what? To understand these areas. That's why I like to send pending orders. The market doesn't really give us some nice positions around this area. The market mostly will consolidate, right? Listen the rule, right? Listen this. We know you know how to identify this area, but we don't jump around here. Why? Because we don't really want to hold our trades longer. So it means once the market reaches this area, we will be ready. Maybe let's say we want to take this sell position there. So what we were going to do is, we're just going to ignore the market here. But we know very well that we're supposed to be ready around that area, or maybe a little bit down there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to place myself. I'm not going to even go aggressive. My sell pending order there. You see, that is my sell pending order. as a normal trade. So what's going to happen is, once the market, let me clear that, once the market actually touches my pending order, you can even open manually. So mostly the market moved away from that respected zone. Most of the time, 90% of the time, the market will just run. You see, most of the time. So this is the first position. You get in a smaller profit. What do? You release the other lot size. You open it here, and you see you starting to get into profit. Then you can release the other two. Remember, the first one is 0.02. Remember, the maximum was what? 0.08, because we know that we can reach halfway very quick. So this one is 0.02 also, and this other ones that are also 0.02. Before even the market reaches this area, once you reach this area, mostly it will depend how aggressive the market is moving, but mostly you'll be almost halfway to double your account. You might be on 150 rands. You might be on 100 rands. The thing is, I can't speak for other brokers, but I know with Xness, obviously, you are just going to be around 60, 70 there. But let's say around towards 100. Remember, that was one signal. And we did not actually risk much, because whatever that happens here, if you have that time, once you get into profit, you can try to lock that. Once you get into profit, you can try to lock every position. Why? Because this will help you not to add actually risky trades. It means if you added this trade here, it's like it's only one trade, because you locked that one into profit, even if maybe it's break even. So every time you go into profit, you make sure that you lock that. But sometimes it's not necessary if you feel like maybe you understand what's really happening. So that type of moves, they happen like almost every day. So let's just say we're going to ignore this area here. Once the market starts to move from this area, the market just goes crazy. We open the first buy, the second buys, then we release the other ones. Once you even reach here, you are already on 200. Quite similar to here. But if you play around these areas, you're going to lose, because the market mostly will just consolidate, you see. So let's check another thing here. This one is the one of yesterday. We smashed this one, obviously. What's really happening is, you can see where we took the trade actually. We took it here, right? Once you start to get why we release or we add more position, is because mostly once the market respects this area, mostly it will consolidate around that area. I repeated that several times. Once the market starts to move away from that area, most of the time, the market will just run. The market will just run. So which means that is going to be a very quick, very, very, very quick profit. You make profit here, it start to move away. It means it confirms with the trend. Still, we're following the trends, we're following the rules. It's not like maybe we just do our own thing, right? So what we're going to do is, now we're going to add the other ones here. It's not like maybe sometimes you're not going to get into negative. But what I know is, once you get into profit, it's going to make you like, you're going to like double the account, almost like, I don't know, every week or in 2 weeks, your account can grow very, very aggressively, because you're taking advantage of this move. You're taking advantage of that move. Once you reach there, this is what I like to do. Once I see that, okay, I'm confident, I locked whatever that I lock, I can actually open other positions there. And guess what? You end up getting extra positions very quick. Very, very quick. So the profits will just add up very quick. Why? Because now you have bigger positions, and the broker one will allow that, will allow you to open those positions, because previous positions are in profit. It's not like you are in negative. You see, yes, we know sometimes the market won't go in our favor. Sometimes you open, you are in profit. You open the other one, you are in profit. Then boom, the market goes against you. But if you follow the rules, if you lock these positions, now it's like you go in, on negative with one position. It's like actually greedy. I don't really like to tell people about stuff like this because they end up going greedy, and when they lose, they look back, and just because they don't really want to take responsibility. People that don't really like responsibility, they don't even want to lose in the market. When they lose, it's not their fault. It's not their responsibility. It's someone else. But when they win, yes, we eat together. You see, that's selfish. So with the people in the group, let's say with the people in the group, because this is public, we're not hiding anything here, right? So with my people in the group, obviously the robot yesterday also gave you a sell, right? But maybe you used only, the robot did not actually open multiple positions, even if you did tell the robot to open multiple positions. Why? Because this trend is very fresh, and mostly the robot won't do that. The robot won't just risk it just to open a multiple positions on a smaller trend like that. You see. So what is the solution for that? People, you know what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to explain much. If you see that, okay, maybe even in the group, maybe you can see that, oh, maybe we have a cell, right? We have a cell here. The robot opened a cell. You know what to do. You know what to do. You can close the robot and open it again. It's like you're overriding the first position to tell the robot, you know what, I need another position. Then the robot will do that, because the robot is very, very like risk. It applies risk management, so it won't open multiple position on a trend which is not really that aggressive. But if you want to force it or override that, you can just close it and open it again. It's going to open another position. But it's better to understand, because sometimes people, they just want to do things even if they don't really want to. You know, the account is very small, whatever, but don't just do things just because other people do things, right? But if you want that, just know that yes, it's a risky because it's multiple positions, right? So you can close the robot, open it again, it's going to open another position for you. Or the simplest part is, mostly the robot waits. So if we entered here, mostly the robot will start to enter around this area most of the time. Or obviously, sorry, the robot will actually enter late, little bit late, but that will be on actually smaller time frame, which means it's going to be around the same level, but when you check on the chart, it will seem like it's late, you see. But if it's like aggressive moves like this, sometimes the robot won't just jump on that immediately, you see. So sometimes if that happens, just know that, yeah, it's fine. It's better maybe to wait for the robot, or you can just force the robot to open. You can close it and open it again. It's going to open. Another solution, you remember I talked about 0.08. Another solution is, if maybe you'll be in front of your robot, or if maybe you have a smartphone that you can use to actually monitor every position, is why not just use, instead of opening separate positions, why not just use a bigger lot size? You can just use 0.8 once. Once it gets into profit, likely enough, the robot will lock. Likely enough, once the position is open, you also going to get the stop loss. The robot does that. You get the stop loss, you get the take profit, and also the robot will trail those positions. So it means once it gets down, it keeps locking. It keeps locking. That is also scaling up. You see. Not getting the same results as me is because I apply different things. Some, they don't really, it's not about the robot. You see, some I open them manually. You might find that maybe with the robot, actually, after the robot opens, let's say maybe the robot opened a cell here. Because guys, we don't really have to be lazy and say maybe the robot has to do everything like 100% while you're just watching. It's not easy to make money. So let's try to help. Let's just try to meet each other along the way. Whether you meet your robot halfway, whether you meet your whatever, just let's make sure that we also participate. You see, let's say the robot opened, you can close and open, then it will open another positions, or you can just enter manually. You can just enter manually. You see, so you can add the positions manually. You can see, oh, the robot opened something. If maybe you used a smaller size, a smaller lot size, you can say, okay, it means now we are on a side. And mostly the robot doesn't really miss. You can say, okay, let me add 2 positions or 3 positions. Then they will just go in your favor. Another thing is, as I said, this is public actually. So for the robot to open mostly multiple position is it wants that trend which is very strong, or maybe when the market sees that the market is on a downtrend and maybe it added a sell here, then the market start to go against you, but when the market check is still on a very nice downtrend, then the robot will try to open a second position. Let's say you said it should open 5 positions. If the market doesn't still push lower, it will try to open the other one. Then after that, the market will do what? Will then try to push lower and lower. So I think this video is very long. Let me try maybe to shorten it. So thank you very much. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Here is the package that we have. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. So this is the package that we have. Check the signal is 12-month signal. It's $165 dollars. You pay once. Prime EA $265. You pay once, and then you're done. Thank you very much. This is Kenzo Xtrahot Forex. Bye.